Hi travellers, Chris here and welcome to today's video. We're going on a small hike into Poona Lake, which is about 4 kilometres just outside of Rainbow Beach. We've got the exit off the highway right here and we're going a few kilometres into the Bymien Car Park, and then it's probably, I think it's about 1.5 k's to actually get to Poona Lake. It's beautiful Poona Lake, but the weather's not looking too crash hot today, but hopefully it holds out enough that it's not raining too much. So anyway, let's take you on a hike. As mentioned before, Poona Lake is only 4 kilometres outside or before you get into Rainbow Beach. You'll turn off into Freshwater Road, the Kilometre recreational area, or the Great Sandy National Park. If you're coming from Gympie, the freshwater track will be on your right hand side, and obviously from Rainbow Beach it'll be on your left. This is a dirt road, corrugated and some potholes. This means a four-wheel drive will actually come in handy and probably safer, but it is suitable enough for a two-wheel drive vehicle. I actually completed this drive a couple of years ago in my Mazda 3, which is two-wheel drive, and we just took it a little slower. You will drive about 3 kilometres down the road until you get to the Bymien Car Park, which will be on your right-hand side. It's a loop car park and only has a few spaces, about 10 or so. So expect that it might get full in the busy summer holidays and weekends. You have a little rest area here, a few picnic tables and lots of shady trees. Find yourself a car park and make sure you're packed up with some water, snacks, your swimmers of course, and maybe a towel. Ensure your vehicle is locked and get on your way. You can take a look at the information and get an idea of what you're in for your visit. Read about the plants and the wildlife and what else you might find in the area. Conveniently, there are some bathroom facilities, so don't forget to use these before you go, as you won't be back for probably a couple of hours. As you can see, Matt's all eager to get underway with the hike. The Poona Lake track is part of the Kilometre Great Walk, which is an extensive walking track system of 102 kilometres and designed to complete over a 5-day period with basic tent camping. It runs from Noosa all the way to Rainbow Beach or vice versa. This walk goes through 18,000 hectares of rainforest, tall eucalypt forest, sandy dunes, untouched beaches and dry coastal woodland, some of which you'll see today on this hike. You can actually see the start of the Kilometre Great Walk from the Carlo Sandblow, but you'll see more of that in an upcoming episode on Rainbow Beach Travel Guide video. Now Matt and I were here only a couple of years ago, I think it was 2019, and the track, from what I can remember, is still okay with thongs or flip-flops, but we are wearing sand shoes today. It's probably more of a length of time for us in walking in your thongs, so if you have some really comfortable thongs, go for it. But yeah, we're wearing sneakers today. Another point is that this is classed as the Rainbow Beach section of the Great Sandy National Park, although this is the same national park that stretches onto Fraser Island. This is why they do refer to Poona Lake as your alternative option compared to the lakes available on Fraser. If you want to check out Fraser, I released that video last week and I'll have it linked in the description below, or you can click at the end of this video. Knowing that this also is National Park area, therefore you'll need to leave the animals at home. Did you know that there are only a few places in the world that rainforest will grow in sand? And this is one of them. Of course, another one is Fraser Island. The track has a lot of coverage and very thick rainforest, so you'll find it a little dark and lots of moisture. Because it was expected to rain today, we were hoping that it was going to protect us a bit, which it did. It does tend to be a little cooler too, without the sun penetrating through. It's a fairly easy walk, but the ground is covered in lots of fallen tree branches. It's classed as a grade 2, which should be suitable enough for an easy level of fitness. There is also a small amount of elevation up and down in certain sections. So we just come to a cross section. One goes to the Kalula Great Walk and Carlos Sandblau is about 7 kilometres away or something. And now we've got another, 800 metres to get down to Poona Lake. So we just finished the uphill section. So I think it's mostly downhill from now and then obviously uphill on the way back. So it took us about 25 minutes to get to this point, but that was stopping a couple of times as well. The whole return walk should be around a minimum 1.5 to 2 hours, or longer if you're making a day of it with some lunch, swimming, and of course a little bit of relaxing. There is no camping available around here, but there are plenty in the national park, and I have heard that something might be available at Poona Lake in the next couple of years. Then eventually we arrive at the water's edge. You don't see the lake until last minute when the trees open up, but when it does, you come to a beautiful white sandy beach, a clear freshwater lake, and some trees submerged. There are a lot of freshwater lakes in Australia, but this happens to be one of my top 10. What are your favourites? And let me know in the comments so I can go check them out. Poona is a very pretty lake. Quiet, with white sandy beaches all around with a promontory in the middle. The water is cool, pristine, and very refreshing, especially after the walk. The lake is lined with paperbark trees and the water has been tinged with a slight brownish colour by the native surrounding trees. Although after the recent rains in the area, you can tell that the lake is very full at the moment and hardly any beach around. But there was plenty on our last visit. The best time to check out Poona Lake would be through the summertime from December to February, when you're after a nice, cool, refreshing place to swim. However, this is also when you'll see the most rainfall and have to plan your days for clear skies. During the winter time, it's still a really great hike and the views are amazing. You can also dip your feet in or brave the chilly waters at that time too. So how amazing is this one? Probably better on a nicer day. The reflections with the sun makes it really nice, but still a nice refreshing dip. The closest accommodation would be camping or hotels, etc. at Rainbow Beach. If you need help in looking for something, then I'll link my Rainbow Beach blog in the description below. Today, the rainy weather did make it a little cold in the water, so I didn't stay in there for too long. Well, we got about an hour down here before the rain started setting in, but lucky on the way back, we've got a lot of cover from the rainforest, so we shouldn't get too wet. Check out the rest of the Great Sandy National Park by clicking here to see last week's episode on Fraser Island. This was just a day trip for us this time, but well worth it to see the highlights. I hope you liked today's video on Poona Lake, so until next time guys, see you later.